Hey everybody, I'm Justin.
And I'm Alex.
And we're Self-Checkout. We're going to be talking about nerd stuff, like we always do. Well, this is the first time we're talking.
That's all we do. Yeah, this is the first time we've ever talked to each other in our entire lives. Who are you? Why are you in my room?
No, yeah, we've decided we're going to be doing live action whatever now, and we're going to talk about stuff.
Because you guys don't like Let's Plays. Boring.
There was way too many Let's Plays on YouTube. We can't compete with Game Grumps.
But we are hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, especially her with her fucking face. Look at that! It's funny!
Anyway, what are we talking about today, Justin?
We're gonna talk about Brave?
Brave?
We're gonna talk about Brave. I just watched Brave last night, and I honestly really liked it. I saw some people talk about it on like Facebook and Twitter and stuff saying, it's not a very good movie by Pixar standards, and then I watched it and I was like, I really like this movie, so I don't know.
Well, to me, it didn't... I wouldn't say that it necessarily lived up to whatever people are calling the Pixar Disney
Pixar standards.
Yeah, like, I don't know how you could put that into tangible terms, because I thought that they reinvented themselves every time they did a movie.
Yeah.
But to me, my favorite personally was Up. Or WALL-E. I think they kind of tie for me. And I don't think Brave lived up to the joy that I felt when I watched those movies.
That makes sense. Because, yeah, like, this didn't feel like a typical Pixar movie. In the sense that it didn't have that, like, really out there creative whatever. It felt more like... It felt closer to the standard Disney formula, I guess.
I could see that, but wouldn't the magic itself push it outside of what people would consider the norm?
The Pixar norm?
Yeah.
I guess. Because Pixar is usually more about nerd, like, sci-fi or, like, weird, like, you know, like Toy Story. It's like, action figures come to life.
Talking cars, talking all day!
Yeah, like, super-powered superheroes kicking ass and fighting a dude who made robots. Dude, I don't even know anymore. It's such, like, a sausage factory of
sausage factory?
Yeah, like, you don't
all
even...
men?
Like, no, I mean, like, it's best when you don't know all the details that went into the creation of it.
Yeah.
If you know that a sausage is made of, like, weird pig fetus whatever shit. I know that, like, Pixar development tends to be turbulent with Pixar.
Because it takes so long with the 3D animation?
Maybe. Or maybe Pixar is just a weird fucking studio. Like, they're kind of like Valve. Like, they're really out there. Just all the shit they make.
How would you say that? Why do you compare them to Valve, I suppose? Because, would you compare them to Formula because they both have had winner after winner after winner in movies,
basically,
as they had with games?
Yeah, and it's like each of the stuff they make, it sort of tackles a genre that we're all familiar with, like superheroes or robots in like a post-apocalypse or whatever you can describe WALL-E as, but it does it in its own like weird creative way.
Like they were like, okay, we want to tackle global environment change. How about we have a robot from the future that was built for the specific purpose of cleaning up the planet?
Yeah, like garbage collecting.
And yeah, we'll springboard off of that. But let's get back to our original discussion about Brave.
Oh yeah, we went way off topic.
I would give Brave a B as I would give the other Pixar movies an A.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't feel a sense of wonder when I watched it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I read a review after watching it because I was like, there's got to be a reason that everybody doesn't like this, and it's part of it is pacing problems. Like, it's about bears and the mom turning into a bear. It's just, sorry, spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched Brave yet.
I don't know if I would necessarily say that it was about bears.
It wasn't like,
bears eat this. Oh, bears live in this part of the world. Black bears named as Ursus.
Yeah. Did you know that bears only eat blah blah blah?
It wasn't the B movie.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't about bears, but it was like you had no idea that bears were going to be a big part of this movie by watching the trailer. And watching it's like the mom turned into a bear. What? That's like the main thrust of the tension of the movie, except for the whole she needs to get married thing. But like I think thematically and in terms of pacing there was a bit of a conflict there because it's like it's trying to be about she's supposed to get married but she doesn't want to, and I liked that aspect of the movie because she feels rebellious and she doesn't want to be part of that, but like at the beginning she's just rejecting it outright, and she's like, I don't want to be part of this. But the way she overcomes that at the end is coming out and saying, hey, I don't think this is right. I think we should change the way this works. I really appreciated that. But it felt like it started out the main thing about the movie, and then after the mom turned into the bear, it just completely changed its course.
I would say, though, talking about what you're talking about, how we should change things, is that the mom represented the old traditions, and she represented the new traditions.
Yeah.
So she had to go against her mom, but she did it in the wrong way. And But in the end, they end up seeing each other's point of view and making a compromise. Because they love each other.
Yeah, and that was a cool idea. I was all up for that. But I think, like, part of the conflict was that the main thing was, like, the mom turns into the bear. What are they going to do about that? And that happens, like, halfway through the movie. You know?
I don't even remember. How long is the movie about?
I have no idea. I watched it, like, yesterday, and I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, it felt like a long ways into the movie when that finally happens. And I was like, oh, is this going to be the main source of tension?
Would you say they were trying to set up the characters?
I guess.
To get you to really, like, fall in love with them?
They were setting up the characters, and they were setting up, like, the background for this to happen.
But do you think, I felt, and I don't know, probably, like, everybody doesn't agree to me, and I'm sorry, don't tell me. I don't think that they set up enough of a relationship between her and the mom. It seems like their entire relationship in the backstory setup was, we have a conflict. That's our whole relationship, and that's all there is.
The main point that, like, every scene throughout the first half of the movie was trying to establish is that, like, her mom is forcing her to be the princess, like the typical princess that's good at all the, like, delicate whatever, like, sewing and whatever, and doing all that crap, when she just wants to hang out and have fun, and she's super into archery and shit. And it's like, I can sort of relate to that. I like that idea. But then in the second half, it's like suddenly her mom's a bear, and it's like they're just, like, hanging out, and they're having to get along.
What do you think of the blackout moments when her mom blacks out and becomes, like, an actual bear?
That felt like it was, like, okay, so it only happens twice.
Yes.
The first time, I think, was to just set up the second time. And the second time, it was a plot convenience in order for her dad to think that her mom is a bad guy. I felt like that was the only reason that existed.
But, okay, if they're doing it for plot convenience, is the only reason to get the dad involved? Or why do you think it had to be the father that had to come to the final decision that he's like, oh, I'm going to kill the bear, it's threatening my daughter?
I don't even know.
Because if you're going to break it down like that, you have to think about, like, why was that convenient to the plot?
Yeah, why was that convenient to the plot? I guess part of the tension was that the dad doesn't know what's going on. He thinks that Merida's crazy, and it's like, oh, it's my mom, and he's like, that's bullshit, she's just a bear, and we need to kill her. This is the first Pixar movie with a female protagonist, and this was the first Pixar movie with, that was supposed to contribute to the princesses, because Disney movies have always been about, like, the princesses, like, fucking Belle and, Esmeralda. She's not a princess.
Esmeralda.
But, you know.
Yeah.
It's always been about the princesses.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Whatever. But, whereas Pixar has always been focused on a male protagonist, and it's generally been about, like, the father-son dynamic. It's always been about, like, daddy issues. Usually, at least. There's the, like...
WALL-E? The daddy issues in WALL-E!
Maybe not WALL-E. But like in Up, there's the old man who never had a son, and then he has to take care of this boy who he never knew.
Name one more.
There was Toy Story, where the kid doesn't have a father figure, and he looks to the toys.
When is that ever explicitly stated in Toy Story?
I mean,
not necessarily that he doesn't have a father, but that he has daddy issues, and that's why he plays with toys.
Well, I guess it's not... I felt like that was sort of the subtext, because Woody and Buzz are kind of competing for Andy's affection. I felt like
what
that
about
was...
in the second one?
Dude, I don't fucking know. That was more about, like, them not being around for Andy anymore. Because the girl was remember, like he meets the girl cowboy whose name is Jessie?
Jessie.
Yeah, and she's like, Andy's gonna abandon you when he grows up. And whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of whatever.
Sheds his hair in the third one.
Yeah, it's super sad. Oh God, that broke my heart.
I think
But,
everybody cried.
But Toy Story 3, no, not Toy Story 3, The Incredibles. The Incredibles was about the dad who wasn't there for his family, and he has to come to terms with the fact that, like, he needs to be honest with his family about what he's doing and all of that. And then A Bug's Life kind of had that going on. Finding Nemo was a big one.
Finding Nemo, yeah.
Finding Nemo was a big one. The dad was trying to find his son. It was like Taken.
Nemo!
Yeah. Nemo!
Oh my God, can you imagine that movie with Marlon being Liam Neeson?
Yes! I can.
Somebody, internet.
That's the movie of my dreams.
If they've made that, send me a link. And if not, you make it. I need it. I need it.
But yeah. It's always been male protagonists. And it's always been about that sort of thing. And this is the first movie that went away from that, and that's what made it kind of weird.
See, I guess it's just me and my standpoint. I would like them to do a female protagonist and not have it be a big deal. Like, let the media say whatever they want, and then you just make a movie where there's a female protagonist.
Yeah, that's fair.
And not have it be a big deal.
Not have it be like that's the focus of it, like
yeah, like
like,
this movie's gonna be our female protagonist. It's gonna check off our new princess line, yada yada. I just want you to make a movie, have it be a female protagonist. Boom.
Because ultimately it shouldn't be a big deal. Like, it shouldn't be a big deal for a movie to be about women.
Yeah.
And that was even the big thing. Like somebody talked about this movie was about Merida's relationship with her mom. Usually when a movie's about a girl, it's about daddy issues. Like, think about The Croods. I liked The Croods a lot, but The Croods was about the girl and, like, her dad not accepting her. And that's a big thing, like, especially in video games, daddy issues are a big thing.
The motivator.
Like, Elizabeth in Bioshock Infinite and Ellie in The Last of Us, that's a really common thing. So it was pretty cool to have it be about a daughter's relationship with her mom. That shouldn't be weird. It really shouldn't be.
It seems like a lot of companies try to shy away from that so they don't infringe on, like, Lifetime's uplifting territory.
Yeah, sure.
Why have
And to appeal to the 18 to 35-year-old male demographic. Because that is apparently where all the money comes from, according to companies. Yeah, it's not, but that's what companies think. And apparently a lot of nerds are just convinced that women aren't funny for some reason.
Getting back to Brave.
Yeah.
Why was it not the star movie? Why did it not live up to the other Pixar
movies? Like when you go into like filmmaking, story structure discussion, it does have some problems with its pacing and stuff like that. But I don't think that was the big problem. I don't think that was the reason people rejected it.
We could probably equate this up to, what do you guys think? What do you think is the problem with Brave? Was it something we said?
Sure.
Was it something we didn't say? We'd really like to know. I'm still going to give it a B on the scale of Pixar movies. What would you give Brave?
I'll give it, I liked it.
Not going to give it a grade.
I'm really bad with giving grades.
I don't conform to the educational
Because when
system.
I give it a grade, I disagree with that grade the next day, and then I disagree with the other disagreement the next day.
Someone likes change.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So I think we'll chalk that up as an I don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
Self-checkout.
Self-checkout.
Wasn't there a thing that James used to do? Oh, bing bong.
Bing bong, thanks for coming.